Okay, so moving on to the next room, let's see how Skummeh handles this. So this place has gone through a lot of iteration. I think he did a pretty good job with some of this. But notice how he moves in here when he spots the enemies. So there comes the suppressor, there comes the charger. He takes cover behind this truck. Right, and this truck is right by where the... Ooh, and he gets killed. That was nice job, charger. But he's fighting these enemies right from where they spawn. And you'll see when he loads back in. While they end up flanking hard to the right, it's... How do I put this? Doesn't give them as many options. Doesn't give the enemies or the players a lot of options. Because in this engagement, he ends up just... Oh, sorry. He ends up just orbiting around this van as he goes. But notice how he kind of got pushed back towards the enemy spawn. And while they may have him surrounded now, it's not... It's kind of 0 to 100 in a lot of ways. Which is good or bad depending on what you want. And I also want the players to move around as well. He was just using this truck this whole time. He can't get to those cars at all. There's no real flow. He's just kind of pinned in place. Okay, so now he's going to try going from the right. After he loads the game. There we go. He plays this spot a lot. Additionally, these little concrete barriers in the way are kind of interrupting movement. But let's see how this goes for him when he fights from here. And then I'll jump in game myself and kind of talk a little bit more about it. So this is still a good fight. Don't get me wrong. But see how far down he's crouching? This is fine for certain pieces of cover. But I'm not a huge fan of this for this being how you interact with your main pieces of cover on this side. You can already see this position is much harder to hold because of how open the enemy sight lines are. And he actually ends up getting flanked on the left over here when he moves this way. And the AI surround him in a lot more logical fashion. Okay, also, the suppressor has a really good position. But you see how he's moving to the right and along these pillars? That, I think, is really cool. How if you go along this side, there's kind of a route you can take going around the arena that kind of gets you fighting amongst these pillars, flanked on the left, and dealing with the suppressor from above as he comes back around. So, I like the way that he kind of gets hemmed in here, but he can still kind of... If he uses his cover well, he can still kind of get stuck in there. So let's do that. There's also... Let's look at that real quick. So yeah, you see how these covers, these little gray concrete blocks are laid out? As a player, especially as a teleport player, but even as a smooth move player, it's not easy to get to these pieces of cover and these pieces of cover. You kind of get out in the open, and then you have to dive to cover. I'm not a huge fan of that. I like flow to be as easy as possible, unless I'm doing a specific reason. These aren't good spots to cover due to the suppressor. And, yeah. So I'm going to go to the right, and we can see how the AI move, and I might be able to go back and... There we go. Okay, charger comes out like the suppressor there to cover everyone. Everyone kind of runs out of that door. This is a lot of enemies. Like, way more than you would normally have. Like, it is a ridiculous amount. You even see that Grunt's kind of standing out in the open. I like the two Grunts and the charger. And it's just... Oh, man, look at all the grenading. Goodness gracious, they just go at it. But yeah, look here how this is... This is a really awkward place to crouch down to and kind of... fight from. Charger does a good job though. The suppressor, ooh, can I blow up this and... Oh, that doesn't make this barrel fall over. But yeah, it's just a whole wall of gunfire. Limiting the enemies with how they can move and attack. See how that guy's out in the open. And just the way they flank, they're kind of bunching up over there. He's doing a good job of kind of staying between and sticking near the pillars. But as a player, I can even get on this side and flank and shoot from the pillars. But I can't really do that from over here, and there's no real way for me to transition between these two sides. So, I'm going to see if I can get the enemies to use this, and the player to use this cover over here, because it's much cooler to have them kind of slowly advance on you in this long-range fight. Additionally, I'm going to reduce the number of enemies, because this is a heck of a lot for a very small space. They very quickly flood the area and kind of... They don't really give you a chance to do much, which, you know, is challenging, sure, but I much like my enemies outmaneuvering me than outgunning me. So we're going to see how this works if I delay the officer to spawn until someone else has died. This sort of the way they spread out right now, they still have they are spread out the exact same amount they were before when there was 3 of them, but there's less guns. but it's still engaging because the player has to move his aim from here to here to here. Like, he has a lot wide area to go to kind of shoot from without just, like, I don't know, overwhelming them with gunfire. Put it that way. Let me make sure also that these guys are throwing grenades properly, because I did notice that as a problem as well. So let's pop in there, and that's the first thing I'll check out. Oh, that guy runs out to the open because he tells them to run out into the open. Interesting, interesting. We'll have to investigate that more. But notice how there's this open ground between where the Combine come from, which is good, so the player can't just camp them. But additionally, it's like, where can they run to get to cover? So I might even add some cover points at this doorway, even like along this here, so that if a Combine needs to, he can shoot from the spawn position. Yeah, this will provide a nice place he can kind of tuck into and shoot from. But let me check their there's grenades and stuff real quick. Okay, let me get my reference model out here, so I can start doing some thoughts and thinking. 500. Okay. What is 500? Holy crap! It's half the arena. I mean, maybe that's intentional. Maybe he had an issue with them charging a lot. Let's set that to default. Let's set that to default and see how that works. We'll actually keep the officer at, we'll actually set him to 300. And set these guys to default. Another good thing to check. Minimum, 700 units is the SMG range. Figure this out via testing. Okay, cool. So if they want to engage, they'll engage from, if they're shooting me from this car, they'll engage. Or if I'm here at this car, they will shoot me from these areas. Most likely, the grunts will. They can shoot from farther than that, but this is where they prefer. This is where they will prefer to be. Goodness, I can't talk today. So I want to make this transition here smoother, and I want to get rid of this. I'm going to make this a car. I might make this long. I'm going to make this as tall as that. And I'm going to make this a car. Alright, so pausing real quick here. I was thinking about doing this sedan here that's really causing you to crouch under it to engage from it. But because of how high this suppressor is, it can typically really get you from anywhere. So instead, I'm actually going to use the van and try and see how that works out. Mainly, because one, the van is smaller already. But also, it really acts as temporary cover with all these windows and stuff around it. So it very quickly becomes crouch cover. To make sure that that's the case, since the player doesn't have scavenged too much, I'm actually going to remove parts of the car. So I remove parts of the car, so it's much harder for the player to use it as cover. There's a little bit more open field, especially with this trunk being open. But I left some glass there to protect them a little bit. Actually, I might actually put the windscreen back on. There we go. Additionally, these doors will also give them cover if the player wants to open them. So if they get flanked, they can open this door. I will actually make this one ajar. I think that could be cool. And then having it like this, which will make it harder for the player to just stick here and rotate around it constantly. I might push this back a little. Maybe put something over here for the Combine. This is nice here. This is a nice open ground for the Combine, so you can't really rush them there. They have to rush to you, though. I might have something here. Let's get some of this over there, actually. There we go. That gives them someone to run to nearby. Gives you some interplay over here. You can still get flanked on the left from where that is. Yeah, I like this. Okay, now time to work on this side. I kind of don't want this car right here to be a big piece of cover. I kind of want this one in the middle to be bigger. It'd be cool if the truck was actually over here in the back. So that your best piece of cover would be all the way in the back of it. That you could. I like how there's 3 of them here. Let me see how the truck looks. That could be interesting. You have a neat little close quarters space back there. Having it be all the way up front, I think, would limit the Combine sightlines too much. Because you could essentially, let me show you what I'm talking about. Like if the truck was here, for example, and you pushed right up to here, you could get flanked from that side, but the Combine can't really get you from the right unless you're all the way over here. So you're essentially just kind of funneling the engagement to this area. And of course the grunts or whatever could toss grenades over the top, but it's just not. It's just not as interesting. I'll put it. It's just with how high that suppressor is that is causing me to hesitate, because I like how high that suppressor is. So let's actually get this guy with a beefy butt, have him back into the spot so he's a little bit higher. Oh shoot, there we go. Let's delete this. Oop, no, we'll actually keep that there so they can kind of use this cover to transition between. I might actually bring one of these road barriers back so the enemies can use it, and you can use it too to move between these spots. So you can kind of move from here to there to here to here and kind of bunny hop your way and just have this giant no man's land in the center. But yeah, that should help protect you from the suppressor some and make it a place you kind of want to go to. Yeah, because that'll protect you a bit. Now it's not quite as perfectly made. So yeah, the suppressor can still get you from the right and the left, but it's a little bit easier to protect yourself here and crouch yourself down. I'll even, hold on, let me grab some physics props real quick. Now the AI has a lot of places to move and a lot of choices in how they engage in this, and so does the player. Because having the player go all the way up to this space makes it way too easy for them to camp the enemies. Or way too easy for them to kind of... It makes your interaction with the enemies really one-dimensional. And I'm not about that life. There we go. Now that you can also see the corridor is red, and I'm gonna make it a little bit ajar. So I think that's a good solid piece of cover that you can kind of get down here and protect yourself from the suppressor some. These I would love. Oh, they are prop physics. That's weird. I thought the explosion would be strong enough to knock them over. This is good. I love the look of this. This is nice and dually. There's a lot of places for enemies to be, and if you get pushed around, so that's cool. I'll move this back slightly. So when you get up here, this I will actually try and make like this double stack over here. So you kind of shoot from there and get flanked on the right. And shoot from here. Yeah, I think that'll be good. This could be nice. Instead of this block being here, have it be a cinder block thing all the way in the back. Yeah, and then the enemies can really flank you from there too. Yeah, I like that. That's better. I'm not really sure why. I just know, I remember how tall the truck was, and it does feel weird with just having this like this. I'm wondering if there's anything I can do. Oh, I know. I can put small crates up there. Yeah, cool. That looks better. I could tint it and whatever, but we're not here for that. Okay, I'm already liking a lot more of how this looks, and I'm curious to see how this fight goes. Because I could have a grunt here, grunt there, charger in the middle, suppressor up top. This is okay. I might actually... I didn't like how much the player had to duck down for this one. I might go from hard cover to mild cover to difficult cover. So go from here to here to here. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, you kind of see how you can kind of orbit around this space in both cases. Cool. Let's get these cover volumes sorted out. Okay, we got our cover volumes here. Now, if you notice, most of these cover volumes do not have anything on the inside here. Originally, I had these car cover volumes all the way out here, so that they could shoot from these parts of the cars. They could move up to here to shoot you if you're over there. But I realized there is no reason that a Combine should be in this middle kill zone to do anything. So for the most part, there is no area that they can stand to shoot in front of some piece of cover. So this one, they can only stand behind the concrete barrier. They can only stand behind here. With these cars, they can only stand behind here. And I made sure that these volumes were on the nav mesh. A smidge into the antlion area, but mostly into the Combine area. Over here, this one's omnidirectional because I want them, because they can shoot that from anywhere, and that's kind of in cover anyway. This one's omnidirectional as well, so they kind of hug here if they need to shoot anyone over here. Same thing goes over here and over here. So, with that being said, let's fix up the Combine spawning real quick. Right? So schedule, got 3 rush. He runs all the way out there. I don't like that, Sam. I don't like that. So we're going to put that guy up straight up to here. That's good. I like the long-range officers. I might have the officer spawn first and then the grunt come in later. Okay, put the officer here. We'll have the grenade guy come in later. And we'll give the officer a grenade. Alright, both grunts have grenades. The officer has a grenade if the player needs one. So, grunt 3 rush will go out there. Officer will go here. Reinforcing grunt will go there. Alright, so I'm also going to make it that when anyone on the ground is killed, then the other guy will spawn. Not if anyone up above is killed. Because we also have the guys running around the ground. I don't want you to kill the suppressor and suddenly have yourself overflowing with dudes on the ground. It's just making it more cramped. There is a potential problem with grenades killing them. I will say that. But hopefully the suppressor should cover them well enough. That's not a problem. Let's see how this works out. Okay, here we are. Back in game. Let's see how this fight works now. Oh, I'm a little scared. Suppressor comes up. Comes over there. Charger comes out. Covering everyone. Officers there. Engaging. I can kind of fight from here, but oh god. There is grenades flying all over me. They've got themselves really spread out. That suppressor should be going to the right at some point. There he goes. Yeah, they really push up on you there. So I can kind of transition along here. Should be going alright. Potentially that could be bad, but we'll see. The suppressor should be able to keep that spot covered. We'll check it in a second again. Yeah, the suppressor's moving off to the right there. There we go. He's narrowing my cover. If I go push over here, they're moving around, shooting me from a distance. I really ducked down under here. This wasn't open earlier, was it? Yeah, the charge is pushing on the left. He's going into actual good cover. Retreating. He's flanking hard on the right. Can he shoot over that? He can't really shoot over that, can he? Oh, I can throw grenades over it though. That looks dope. I wish I could. Okay, so they're definitely flanking me there. He's throwing up a manhack. I might boost up his manhack proclivity if you really need to deal with him. Alright, killing you. Oh, he did the grenade thing. He did the grenade thing. I don't know where the grenade went. So they really pushed me around the left side. Interesting. Oh, there's his friend. Oh, look at the suppressor. He's chewing through blocks and stuff. That charger ran away. What the heck? Oh, I'm liking this a lot better now. There's some good cover here for me to juke around. Oh, he ran away. There he goes. Oh, man, heck. This is actually working out a lot better than I expected. You have a grenade, don't you? Oh yeah, he's just not in a good grenade spot. Yeah, notice how he's moving inward. It's difficult for them to do that in cover. They typically try to stay on the sides. Where the heck is that officer? Oh, hello! And then he's retreating backwards. Oh, look at that. Good shooting position. Oh, he's not shooting me from there. But he's gonna shoot me from there? Yeah, look at that. See, that looks cool. Oh, he's moving in again. There's the officer. There's the officer. Oh, they look so good. They look so coordinated. Let me change the manhack proclivity on this guy a little bit. You're the last guy, right? No, you're the last guy. Yeah, we'll make you grenade happy. Okay. Wow, that worked really well. That is shocking to me, in all honesty. Let's try that one more time. Maybe if I can get this grunt to go farther left. Yeah. We'll get you going farther left. We'll actually move these more up a little. We'll get rid of that. Move this over some. Really give him some space to shoot from. Ideally, you would actually have more than one suppression point near any suppression thing. So you could have multiples in a spot if you really need him to. So he doesn't have to run so far between positions. So I'll actually put this one here and put one right next to it. Just easing up the suppressor a little bit, giving him some more room. Now I can really push these up. Get him right on the edge. I'll have to be careful because I don't want him shooting straight down. That's very annoying to deal with. Because they can't really aim straight down. So you gotta be cautious with that. That should be really nice. He'll be really vulnerable, but he'll be in a very powerful position. Okay, that should be good. Let's try compiling it one more time. Okay, well, I'm gonna start this compile from the start just so we can kind of see everything it is, because this is probably the last compile, hopefully anyway, before like a final one or something. Turning around. Oh man, you just dive in there. Okay. Come flank. Look at him go. God, I can't shoot that. Need a crosshair. Oh, you were there. What the heck? Where did you come from? Let's see what this guy does. Oh, he chucks a grenade. Nice. Oh, we're moving off to the right. Anyway, yeah, I like to play when I'm testing in flat screen like I'm in VR, so I'll stick to cover. That's how I play in VR, by sticking to cover. And if you're a teleport player, that tends to be how the ideal way to play. Smooth locomotion players have a little bit more freedom. But yeah, so I tend to like stick to cover, shoot from there, fire little bursts, and see how the AI react to me popping in and out in cover like that. Like you would in VR, where you kind of lean in and out. I think in VR they behave a little bit differently, but it's a good, you know, slight beginning gauge. See the manhack, see the charger coming. So one thing that is kind of getting me here is that at one point both grunts started moving to the right. Yeah, see that guy's doing it now. He's getting stuck on his buddy. Oh, and they threw a grenade and told the charger to go away. So that's not ideal. But they are kind of giving up a good sustaining field of fire. Yeah, they're both moving to the right. I'm not a huge fan of that. But they're all spreading out, see? I kind of wish one would stick back to the left, but that's the nature of this fight. In a perfect world, this cover, I would have, these would actually be switched, and I'd have this pole maybe here, so that he could could shoot me better from over there. Oh, that guy ran all the way away. Oh, okay, he killed his buddy. I didn't even know they could do that. Come on, dude. You gonna move in? Oh, there he goes. Where did your friend go? Goodness gracious, he ran all the way away. All these pieces of cover start disabled and are named something in particular. The ones I made are not. So let me grab those real quick. Yeah, because he's retreating because these covers pieces are very far behind him and he doesn't have any other good place to take cover. And just in case, to make sure that next time this guy can retreat if he wants to, I'm going to try and put this here. Okay. Now this is the final compile. Goodness gracious. Okay, try this again. Now you're not taking cover. Ah, so you're the one taking the initial fire. Good lord, look at that suppressor fire. Now they're clumping up a little. Come on, Combine, someone go left. There he goes. Taking sweet time. Oh, the office is there. Oh, they're all going over there. Holy crap. Stop. You're gonna try and shoot me from there, buddy? Oh, yes you are. Move up to this barrel. See what they do. So he's moving on the side. Office is still going left. Tough place to be out here in the open like this. And bam, shotgun you in the face. Cool, cool. Yeah, nice and dynamic play space. You don't really get anyone going right, but that's because I kind of stayed back here. There's a manhack. I don't really like how it dives to the ground like that, but I'm going to live with that for now. I could give him a custom path or something later. See, now that he's got better lines of sight on me, he could actually go on the left. If I go this way, they all start clumping up on the right. Which is what it is. At least they can flank to the right if they want to get to me, like that guy there. They're not grenading as much as I'd like, but whatever. They're spreading themselves out. Doing a good job of shooting and scooting. I want to go here. Oh, they just get going. Yeah, the suppressor can go. Oh, he's going there. Yeah. Look at this. Look at this fire. That is a lot of pressure to be under. Yeah, I'm being pushed out of this area really darn quick. That is how I get killed, because this is crouch cover, so I'm preferring to stay on this side. Where'd the officer go? Oh, he's behind that pillar. See, that's the cool thing about officers and grunts, with the way that they can, what's the word? Oh, shoot. Use indirect forms of attack. Yeah, look how they spread out. And there's an officer on my flank. That is an awful place for an officer to be. I need to try this fight again and go to the right first as opposed to the left and see how that influences how the charger goes. And there's the grunt reinforcement. Oh, hello. Coming in. Yeah, so see, he has to do a much simpler attack schedule because there's 3 of them. So it's kind of standing out in the open a little bit. Because there's officers here on the right. Come on, buddy. Shotgun you in the face. And look at them spreading out like that. That's one of the reasons you want 3 different ones, so one guy can cover as 2 other guys move around. And so it's nice to have like a heavy guy who does that for you. If that suppressor, yeah, there's the suppressor, so he's moving in. And he moved away. Oh, he's going over there. That is a tight shooting position. But yeah, look how they spread out. Even though this guy is out in the open. Come on, suppressor. I know you want to get over here. You want some of this action. Right there. There he goes. But not quite the same amount of just raw firepower that you saw Skummeh go under when he first played this on Merciless. But it is what it is. I feel like it's a much more of a duel than just like, oh my god, you're going to die. I want you to up the player preference, I guess. But I really love the way the AI is moving around in here. You don't quite know where to expect them to come from, but you know enough to kind of like, you know that the suppressor's going to stay up there. And if I move in over here, he's probably going to move some. There he goes. Finally did it. Now, if I tuck myself in here, he can't get to me. But, gotta live with that. Yeah, now he's got a lot more control over the area. It really pushes you around. This becomes a lot more dangerous of a position to be in. And you have a good, clear escape route for the most part, minus the suppressor. I could make this high cover, but that would make this too much of a place you'd want to be. So you just gotta kind of duck down. And then here's your high cover to protect you from the suppressor, so you can smudge your face into it. He actually can't get you here because there's not a suppression position by that explosive barrel. But here he can get you, because he's going to go to the right. I said, theoretically. Oh yes, he was trying to get as close as he could to getting me. But yeah. Gonna run all the way around. Yeah, look at him go. I actually really like this setup of having very clear firing holes for the suppressor. One of the issues I have with suppressors is... Anyway, you know what, I'm getting off topic, I'm rambling. Let me restart this fight. I was gonna move up on him, but then the suppressor got there. Where is he? Oh, he's just grenading me. Oh. Grenades are awesome in Half-Life Alyx. I think they're so cool. Long-timers or not, whatever you might think about their effectiveness. Oh, look at that! He's like shooting underneath the tailgate. I thought I removed that. Oh, that was... Oh, hello! Goodness gracious. That's what I'm talking about shooting them straight down. That feels really awkward. Yeah, I'm proud of that. I feel good about how the AI interacted with that. No matter what route you take, they'll always do something slightly different. They'll really spread themselves out. Like when I was over here, once I killed that charger, I had a grunt all the way here on the right, pinning me in, and an officer over here on my left, sorry. All the way on my left and all the way on my right, pinning me in. Like I was in a straight crossfire here. And there was a suppressor up there keeping my head down. Like, and my only real good place to take cover was to tuck into here. And even then, it just makes my position even worse. Because now the enemies are even harder flanks on me just to the way the cover is situated. That was nice. So over here is still dangerous. Over here, I seem to have been able to not be able to stay in place for a little bit longer. But as soon as you get flanked over here, there's not a whole lot of options you have left. While here, you can kind of dive between the cars. This might require some playtesting to see how well it goes. And, you know, I'd iterate off of playtesting. But this video is long enough as it is. Video series videos. I don't know if it's more than one or one. We'll see how things separate themselves. But, yeah, I'm proud of how that worked out. Of how the enemies move around the space. Always kind of covering each other with that suppressor. Covering the soldiers on the ground. The charger, providing constant pressure. Like, even when you're over here, he very much pushes you away from this position, pushes you around here, as the grunt and officer provide overlapping fields of fire. Like, this works really well. And having the fight start from here, lets the enemies get into cover have a little bit more cover options than if the fight started here. Additionally, having it start here, you can't really backpedal anywhere. You could funnel them into this space here, I guess, or behind this car. But it's such an awkward place to go to that's so far away. You're going to get cut to ribbons just getting to here. It feels much safer to get up to the high cover here, like over here and over there and here. Maybe I could even fill this in some more so that this could be even better cover. But we'll see. That's all iteration stuff. Like, I'm making mental notes of things that might need to be trimmed if playtesting shows that they need to be trimmed. But yeah, that's my process for looking at an encounter and kind of dissecting it and realizing what's working and what's not. In particular, some of the cover layouts, like here, was particularly problematic for how the enemies flowed in the area. And I really like how this spot kind of turned out. It's also close quarters, which I'm much better at designing for than more long-range fights. But this is still a really cool fight, and I like the way they flow and move around. And I'm curious to see how it would playtest. But maybe another day. Maybe I'll add it on into the end later. Yeah. So I hope someone got something out of this. Someone learned something. But yeah. Shout out to Skummeh for letting mappers and modders use his videos. For various things with credit, and also Quantum for being so open to feedback, and a very nitpicky person such as myself who really wants to see good Combine fights more often. And I think you got some really good, the burgeoning of some really good ideas here, so I'm excited to see what you do in the future and how you take these lessons forward. Anyway, yeah, good luck and happy mapping.